Good morning, fellow option traders. This is Jeff, and welcome to the Daily Scan for Thursday, August 8th, 2013. All right, announcements on tap for today. Big one is jobless claims. Everything else is secondary on this list. But I wanted to just briefly touch on something about jobless claims, and that the actual number that you hear on the radio and on TV and the newspaper is based on a bunch of interviews that they conduct with people around the United States, asking them if they're looking for a job and if they're working. So if you're not looking for a job, then you're just not counted. If you're not looking for a job and you're not working, you're not counted. But the more telling number, in my mind, and a lot of other people also rely on this, is what is called the labor force participation rate. And this is it directly from the government right here. And it's showing that since, like around 2008, it's been steadily dropping. These are the amount of, I believe, U.S. citizens 16 and over who are currently working. This is not a good sign. Now, you could say, well, it only dropped, like 2.5% or something like that. And you could say that, but this trend is not good. And usually it's not this low unless there are some serious economic problems going on in the country. So anyway, that is that. Let's jump right over to the foreign markets. Asia finished the day pretty much mixed and flat, pretty much overall. Nikkei here, of course, we always bring up that, and that, if you don't get more than 1.5%, I consider it flat. And the rest of them look pretty flat, except for the Sensex. But that's what's happening over in Asia. And over in Europe, it's looking like they're that's at noon over there, and they're looking pretty good on the bullish side for today. Okay, moving right along, let's just jump over to our current opening prospects here in the United States. Up slightly, flat to slightly up for an open. Gold struggling here to get back to 1300, and oil has dropped below 105, which is sort of a good sign, but I'd much rather see it drop below 100. Only because I'm just selfish, I guess you might say. Alright, so let's look at our account. Everything is kind of wallowing along here except for LinkedIn. I'm going to take some big lumps on that one. Still not going to do anything about it. It's supposed to expire next week, so we'll just let that one ride and hope and pray that it comes back, because we're almost at max loss there anyway. And the rest of them are sort of directionless. Visa may be in a bit of a trouble here, but still not worried about it. The price is at 181 and our short is at 180, so it's a little close, but I'm sure this positive opening here is going to help that over the weekend. And if we get some good theta over the weekend come Monday, if we're still looking a little positive for the open, I'll stay in it. Otherwise, if Monday doesn't work out too good, I'm getting out. And then I wanted to cover IWM. I don't believe that this is going to work out. doing these daily trades, and let me discuss with you a little bit why. Let's go here and take a look at the chain. Okay, so right now we're sitting here with everything in this weekly. I did do a trade yesterday, and I did do a bearish trade. So now we have two bearish trades in a row. And what I had to do, because these strikes are all hitting around each other, I don't want to have to be buying back short strikes before I can, get all the credit from them just to put on another trade. So this is where we get into a little bit of a problem here in picking our strikes. So one of these I actually had to do a dollar spread, and that is this one here, because I already had a 105 call here, right here, and I was short that one, and I wanted to go long with the 105, and I would have had to buy it back, so I had to go to 105.5. That put me out with a dollar spread, and I don't like to do that on this particular trade. At least that was not my unwritten rule on this. So I don't think this is going to work out, and I am going to stop doing them. I did have a reader of my blog. I don't know if they watched the videos or not, but did come up with an indicator, and I like the indicator to simplify things, and I may use that to go back to the weekly spiders trade, which is I have to go back and watch that video because I haven't done it in so long, and I may resurrect that video, but go back there and watch it. And if I remember right, I think it's on Thursday you start looking at the next Friday's expiration and figuring out what you want to do based on the last couple of days of price action. So be looking again at that. Things should start to quiet down soon. Kids be going back to school. And I'll get a little bit extra time to devote to working some things out, because I haven't been doing too hot the last month or so. I have to admit, been taking a lot of lumps. And I need to do something I don't want to quit. I'm not going to take my toys and go home. I'm going to keep at this, and I'm going to work it out. So I might go back to the weekly SPY as a, conservative strategy that you just apply on certain days and just go for it. All right. Also wanted to just take a look at Tesla. I think you guys, if you haven't heard anything about this is a intraday chart. 30 minutes, and I'm showing after hours on here. And let's bring up Tesla. Had a nice ride last night. So after hours, the earnings, previous to her announcement, the price was at 134, and then it jumped up $20, which is like, I don't know, like what, maybe about a 15% increase or something like that. So they had good earnings. At least everybody was happy. They were predicted to lose 36 cents a share, and they actually only lost 26 cents a share. So everybody was happy about that, and a lot of people loaded up after hours last night, which drove the price up. All right, speaking of, let's cover Priceline. All right. I have been taking snapshots, but I think it's a little bit too busy to take a look at those. So here's what I did. I started this little spreadsheet to keep track of what's going on. So I actually entered my trade. Let me show you the trade here. Oops, I said the word trade and I clicked on the trade tab. I didn't do it in my paper money account. What I did here was at, you can see here at 12:48 yesterday is when I started this. We were at 0 for the value here, and that's when I locked in these prices. So the risk profile currently looks like this. So that's how I did that. Okay, so we're looking here yesterday. We're particularly interested in our short positions, which are the August 2, or this Friday's expiration. And we're looking at IV here, and this is implied volatility for that particular strike and expiration. And this morning it made a big jump to 88.92, but this is pre-market about 5:30 this morning, so I'm not sure exactly how accurate that is. And we can see that the Octobers are holding pretty steady. Those are the ones that I would get most nervous about, because those are the ones that I'm going to want to sell after either these expire on Friday or maybe on Monday, and just let these expire worthless. I don't know, we'll have to see. But the danger zone is right here in these Octobers, and that the IV does not drop on those very much. So that's the key to the calendar. These we know are going to collapse significantly. I mean, it could come down, it's 70, almost 70 percentage points. So that's a huge drop, and that's where your palms start to get itchy, because there's money coming. But if these drop, like we looked yesterday, 4 to 5% percentage points, the trade's going to be a loser no matter what you do, no matter what it does. So that's what we're looking at for right now. I'll be keeping track of this when I can during the day today, and we'll see how it works out. And then the big moment is tonight. Let me look at the chart here. It doesn't go out far enough, so let's look at this chart. Alright, so earnings are tonight after the market closes. So it should be a fun ride. Now let's jump over to the A+ list. And we will start out with Apple. Okay, I turn these green candles into hollow ones. It makes it a little easier to look at. You have that big old green junk jumping out on you here. And that's an easy thing to do if you want to do that. If you have Thinkorswim charts, you just go over here to the wrench, click on Appearance, and then whether you want your candles, your up candles to be filled or your down candles to be filled. So that's a pretty easy thing to do. So this is where we're at. Apple's coming down. Looks like as though it's going to possibly give us a hook here. I'm not sure if this is below 45 here or not, but I would count that if it decides it wants to hook back up today. And as a matter of fact, if price does move up, it is going to hook up. And so therefore, I am putting an alert on Apple, just because it's got a really nice run going here. And I want to take advantage of it. We will do a very short term play on this one, and we might go in. Apple's a pretty good stock to do the 1-to-1 risk reward ratio on. So we would go into next week. Excuse me. And let's say here we are currently at 464. So let's take a look at 465 bull put. And there we go. I mean, we got a $5 spread and almost a $2.50 credit. So that's what I would do with this particular play on Apple, is I would go at the money with the 1-to-1 risk reward. And I would just do one of them because I don't want to put any more at risk than that. Okay, so that's it for Apple. Let's take a look at Amazon. Okay, you know, Amazon's not looking very good to me. It is looking very weak right now. Had a nice run, but it's looking pretty weak right now. So I'm not really excited about doing anything on Amazon. If I was to do something, I might look for something that's a little bit, take a look into next week. We're looking here at 305. No, I wouldn't do anything here. I'm just not going to do anything. We'll skip it. We'll stick to our rules. Nothing going on with Amazon right now. We got a nice hook here on Baidu. And even though the market had a negative day yesterday, Baidu had a nice looking green candle with a big downward wick on the downside. I do like that. So we have another alert coming up here. Alright, let's take a look. Celgene. Alright, looks like we're going to get a hook down here on Celgene. I like that. That's pretty sweet looking. We do have the hook. We have an alert going in. Oh, looks like it's going to be the day of alerts today. And if I get too many alerts, I'm just going to have to pick out one or two that I'm going to get in on. And I may do them all as, if you can do them, not all underlines work out good with the 1-to-1 risk reward trade at the money, but a lot of them do. So I might be looking at that for some of these positions. Alright, CF, we do have a hook here, but we're just a little bit too flat on this moving average here, and we got downward momentum. So that is not a good trade in my mind. In my small mind. Alright, Chipotle may have halted its move here. I forget what that particular candle pattern is. I just can't think of it right now, but that usually means price is going to reverse. So either at the low or the high with this type of candle. That's a shooting star, or which one that is. So we do have momentum going out though. Don't like that too much. I would like to see, well, we don't have our hook yet anyway, so we'll just hang in there and see how that one works out. Not ready for prime time. Gold. Alright, looks like we're holding here for our iron condor on the put side. Nothing else going on. Not interested in any sort of directional trade on that at this time. Alright, Google, this target is no longer valid in my mind. I don't like that, the way that it's looking right now. Just don't like it. But we'll keep an eye on it. I'll leave it in there. We need a little kick up here on some momentum. It's just looks very tired. Goldman Sachs. Yeah. Should have stayed in this trade. Boy, that one cost me a lot of money. Which is why I'm hanging in there with LinkedIn. per now. Yeah. Shame on me. Oh, is there anything else going on? Well, a little scared of Goldman Sachs right now, and this moving average is kind of flattened out here. So they may be in for a trend reversal. LinkedIn, it's trying to come down. We still have some time. We'll see how that works out. No, nothing directionally that I'm interested in that one right now. And then we have MasterCard. Let me move this over a little bit. See if we get a hook here. It's a very nice looking move on MasterCard. Just hasn't given us an entrance yet. Okay, Netflix, I don't see any direction here. We have no targets in here. Taking a pass. Priceline, of course, we beat that one to death. Let's jump right to Panera. We may get an entry here, but not ready yet. Or it may just say, I want to go back up here and fill this gap. I consider this a gap. Alright, and then Tesla, we already looked at that. We know that it's going to gap up considerably at the open, maybe well off this chart at the moment. So they did well. And then there is Visa, which we took a peek at before. We have a bull put on this one. Let's see here. How are we looking? Or I looked at it before. Maybe I didn't look at it with you guys, but not looking real good right now for Visa. Let's hope that today we get a little bit of positive movement out of them. Alright, that is it for today. Thanks a lot for watching, and have a great day. And not sure if I'm going to have a video tomorrow or not, so if I don't, have a good weekend. And if not tomorrow, I'll see you Monday. Happy trading.